Hey there, welcome to Brian's Hobbies. So, weather's been a little icky the last few days. We've had a couple of good hard frosts, and the gardening is done for the year. We still have some chores to take care of here and there, but I've got a lot more time on my hands now, and I'm itching to get back into the studio. It is literally a giant mess right now. I mean, there is stuff piled up everywhere. So there's a bit of cleaning got to go on before we really get into any big projects. But I've got a small one that I wanted to it's work in amongst the junk, if you will. Is a graphic art project where I'm going to design a T-shirt for my channel, and well, mainly for me. And if you want one when it's done, sure. But just wanted to kind of go through the process of how do you photograph one of your models to be able to use it for other things. Like you can embed it into a website, you can put it on a T-shirt, you can make a poster out of it. You can, mount it on the wall. Something, if you're proud of something, then absolutely you should photograph it and put it up somewhere so other people can see it. And yeah, so this is going to be that process. I've picked out a model, and we're going to set up and do some photography on it, and then we'll go from there. All right. For this little project, I've chosen this little Jeep model I built a while back. In fact, I think I videoed it. There it should be down in. I'll put a link in the description if I can find it. This is a fun little model, and I was kind of proud of it. It was really put together some nice DIY techniques in order to pull this off, and want to put it on a T-shirt of all things. So we need to get a good image of it that we can use for that purpose. But it's not just for T-shirts. You can put this stuff on whatever. You can make posters. You can just print it out off your computer and frame it, whatever you want to do with it. Websites, myriad of uses that you can have for images of your models. So for imaging this type, is we're not just taking a photograph of something. We're going to be manipulating it so that we can use it for different things, and we can put it in different scenarios and what have you. But if you've got a dark, just in general, if you've got a dark object, we want to create as much contrast as we can. So we want to put a light background behind a dark object, or a dark background behind a light object. And for that, I'm just going to use some white copy paper that I've just got laying around. So let's see, to set that up, just going to set that, put that on there. We want to, let's see, kind of a curve. We want a little bit of a curve to the background here so that we don't have a sharp line, because this is, upper part is just for reflectivity. We want to reflect light down and away. So, but the image itself is going to be shot from further down. And so we want to get the lighting is important. If you can do this outside on a cloudy, hazy day, that would be ideal, but it's raining here, so we're going to do it indoors. But the trick to this is the shadows. As you can see, when you get a light up close, you get all these shadows over here. So we want to chase those shadows away. So I'm going to get in more light behind it and more light on top. Alright. And then move it around till we find a spot where there's not any shadows. And that is really kind of dark. But I think we're pretty close there. Let me See, we want to come from more overhead. So we've got shadows back here. So we want to bring this left light more overhead. So if you'll watch, when we raise the light up, the shadows kind of move behind the Jeep. So we want to get the shadows behind the Jeep there. And with this light here, there, and there. So now the shadows are somewhat minimized. A little more of an angle there. All right, so let's take some images and see what we get. So once you've got your shot set up, you want to go through and take multiple images. I'm just using my phone for this. It's an old Galaxy S21. I think it's 4 or 5 years old. But most modern cameras on phones are excellent. They have multiple settings, and you can do automatic, you can do manual focus. There's, you'll want to know more about that, you can just look up your phone. I'm sure there is a YouTube video that goes through all the camera settings for your particular phone. So once you've got all the shots done, then we'll pick out the one that we want, and we'll go on from there. All right, so that's our image. So now we're going to take that and we're going to transfer it into the computer, and we're going to use free software for this, so that there's no cost to you except if you actually go through and make a purchase from one of the multiple companies that I list down below that you can reach out to do this for you. There are several. So, all right. So you've imported the image into your computer. I use Windows, and this video is Windows centric. If you use a Mac, you've probably got a good idea of how to do this already, but if you want to watch along, you might learn something. Never know. So you've got our Jeep image, and we're just going to open it. Windows in their, or Microsoft, I should say, has in their native image software added some editing features that will allow us to remove the background from the image. So what we're going to do, we'll expand it out so we can see it, and then just click Edit. Now, there's our image. So what we want to do first is save a copy. Now, here's the original, and we're going to save a copy by just adding the word copy. So this is the copy. We're going to save that. Now, we're working off the Jeep copy, right? So this is the image that we're going to edit. And to do that, we just go right up here in the corner and we click Edit. So now that we're in the editing part of it, this is real simple. We're not going to do a whole lot here. We can mess with, the brightness and the contrast and the exposure and yada yada, but I think it's in pretty good shape just like it is, and I don't think we need to do much to it. You can if you want to. There's metal, you can noodle around in here, and there are all sorts of settings. But what we're going to do is background removal. So when you click that, you'll notice that the background goes blue striped. So you've got these blue stripes. But you'll also notice that it's not perfect. Like, it took the window out here, and I don't want that. And it didn't take out there's some little holes there that need to be kind of opened up. So in order to do that, we're going to go to Background Brush Tool, and we're going to turn that on. Now, this is called a mask. This is, as the image goes, this blue striped area is over top of the background. So it's covering the paper. And what we're going to do is to refine this is we're going to either add or subtract the mask. So if we add mask, it's going to remove the background. If we remove the mask, it's not going to remove the background. It'll leave the original image intact. So First, I want to start with this window. So we can zoom in, and I'm going to remove the mask off the window, reestablishing the windscreen on the Jeep. So that shows the windscreen there. Then, so just sort of refine things, we're going to add some mask. Now remember, adding the mask will delete the background in that area. We'll delete the image. So there's a little hole there we want to open up. This one here could be a little bit bigger. You don't want to get too fussy with this. You can get as fussy as you want with this, but really this is all we want to do. We want to navigate the image. You push down. To navigate the image, you just want to push down on your mouse wheel, and it'll let you drag it around. Zoom in and out. Roll your mouse to zoom in and out, and then hold the mouse wheel down in order to move the image around. So that looks pretty good. And again, it was pretty quick. We might just fix the tire down here. So I'm going to add mask to that. So it's showing a little bit of the dark shadow under the tire. So we're going to remove that there. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Maybe just a little bit more right there. Okay. And there you have it. So there's our Jeep. Okay, so now you have the mask where you want it. We're going to come back up here and we're going to click remove. So the background's now been removed, and this is the image that we want to save, but we want to save it as a PNG. So it's a .png. Don't ask me what PNG stands for, but it's .png, and once we save it at that, it will maintain that clear background. So when you pull the image up on something, there's going to be nothing behind it. You're not going to see the paper from the original shot. It's just the Jeep by itself. So now we're going to click the save options. All right, and then we're going to save a copy. And we're going to save that as PNG. We have JPEG we can do, but PNG is what we want. So click save. And now there is the Jeep with the background removed. Now, we have that. We can close out of that. Okay, so we've now removed the background off the Jeep, and we're ready to go to the next step, which is design a t-shirt and order it and pay for it and then get it delivered. So the company I use for just one-off, I want one of these, and I don't need to create a whole bunch of copies, and I'm not looking for the best deal because I'm not planning on reselling it. It's just a t-shirt for me because I want the t-shirt. I use a company called Custom Ink. You don't need to do anything to start with. If you want to just play around with a t-shirt design, you get right here and you click start designing. Right? So you want to upload your art. So we're going to upload the Jeep. And we're looking for the Jeep copy.png. And then we're going to open that. And that's going to put that on our t-shirt. Now, I don't want blue, so I want to change the color of the shirt. So let me see here. Product colors. I want, it's not gold. There, those are kind of a yellow color. What is that? No, not that. Huh. Okay. Let's get a little closer. Dark chocolate? No. Yes, there we are. That's kind of a... Oh, here we are. What is this? Sand. Excellent. We're putting a Jeep in sand. So, but for my purposes, it's a little on the large size. So we're going to shrink it down a little bit. Now when you're moving the image around, you'll see the little lines flash that way. That shows you the center. Right? So we want to put the center, maybe not quite centered, right there, slightly larger. Alright, so you get the idea. So you have it where you want it. Alright, so now we've got the image where we want it. We want to add text to it. We can do that right here. You can do this in other image software, but might as well do it here because, you know, it's there and it's easy to do. So like I said, I want this for a t-shirt for my channel, and it's for me. So I'm going to put Brian's Hobbies on it. Brian's Hobbies, and we're going to add that to the design. So there's Brian's Hobbies. Right? So, all right. So now we have Brian's Hobbies, and we want to mess around with that a little bit. So white, I like the white, but we're going to put some outline on it. White with black outline. That's good. Now let's look at the font. That is Brian's Hobbies. There's that one. That one. Ooh, that's horrible. I don't know. Let me see. What else have we got down in here? Arial B. Arial B. Arial B. I like that. How about just plain Arial? No, Arial B it is. We're going to use Arial B. Now, could just leave it somewhere in there. Again, there's the center line. There's Brian's Hobbies, but that's, you know, we need to size that down. And I'm thinking we want to rotate it. So, oop, let's go the other way. And then messing around with it. 21, 22. What do we got? Let's go the other way. Let's go 20. It's looking a little better. Right? So we've got the font Arial B. We have the edit, the white font color is white. We've rotated it to a -20. I don't know if that's in degrees or just what have you. But then we've outlined the text in black, right? And you can adjust how little or how much you want that to be, how thick you want the outline to be. I kind of like it somewhere about right there, maybe somewhere in between there. No, it's one or the other. So there, and sort of on the same angle as the Jeep. I'd love to zoom in more on that. How is that possible? Zoom. There we are. So, yeah, Brian's Hobbies. So there's the design right there. We're more or less done. Does it need to, should I center it? No, it needs to be under the Jeep. So just wherever it feels right. There we are. Brian's Hobbies. Now, we're going to get a price. I'm going to buy and ship it. And ship to single address. I'm going to choose the size, and then I'm going to pay for the entire order. So continue to size. I'm a 2 extra large. We're not adding anything extra. Continue. It'll ask you for the zip code, and then you'll click to see the all-inclusive price. I think mine was just less than $40. So there you have it. That's how you make a t-shirt. So there's Brian's Hobbies t-shirt. So I went with a little more premium t-shirt than the one I had in the video. So I think it ended up being a little closer to $40 when it was all said and done. So, but I think it's absolutely worth it. I've got a unique t-shirt no one else has, and I get to wear it out and answer questions like, oh, that's Brian's Hobbies. Also, from the mess we had at the beginning of the video, I've cleaned up quite a bit. I've even got the 3D printer running on the project coming up. That's going to be an addition to the tool holder series. I think it's going to be pretty neat. I think you'll like it. Also, got some other videos coming where we're going to do some scale modeling with, we're going to be creating objects for scale models. So not a model to go inside your model. Yeah, a model for your model. So, yeah. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Put it in the comments. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me for a little while, and go make something.